Gays for Gaza, globalize the Intifada!
We need to talk. You keep using these words.
Long live the homosexual intifada!
And I don't think you know what it means. Over the past while, I have had so many people explain the Middle East back to me, and I think that we are living in very different realities.
It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction.
Within 1 minute on TikTok, I can already see enough detached, complete psychopaths that have absolutely no clue or idea about the Middle East, acting and reacting to resistant content when they have absolutely no idea what they're engaging in. And we are talking about some of the most detached takes imaginable. TikTok has become so desensitized to violence, war, and terrorism that they can no longer see the lines between good or evil. I wish this wasn't needed, and trust me, talking about this stuff is not easy for me. I wish it was. I would be able to make way more content. I figured, why spend all these years in therapy that did me no good when I can just pop on my camera and hope for AdSense? And for all of you that are complaining about my setup, you don't get to complain without hitting that subscribe button. I am trying my best, and this is the best I got, right? I am not getting any money off of this. People always accuse me of getting paid by Israel, but no, I am not getting paid by Israel to do this. If I was getting paid, I would not be sharing my PTSD with the internet. So, here we are. But first, about me. I was born in Beersheba in 1993, and I spent the majority of my life in Ashdod,
Los Angeles Shilks.
which basically means that I grew up in the parts of Israel that were constantly under bombs because y'all normalized it, is what it means. So I just, as someone who grew up under those rockets and constantly, and I lived through the Second Intifada, and I lived through all of these things that you romanticize as resistance, and I just want to compare notes and show you what it looks like from my perspective as someone who grew up in through all of it. I know that you justify all of Israelis as colonizers, but I just want to give and point out that by the time that the Second Intifada was happening, so the Second Intifada started when I was 6 years old and ended when I was 11, 12-ish. I'm just wondering, what have I done to deserve it at that point in time? I think that the biggest tell is how every Israeli is a complicit militant and every Palestinian is an innocent victim. And if you fall into that dichotomy, then obviously this video is not for you and you can just hit close and go back to your echo chamber. But if you're still here, why did I leave Israel? I do talk about it in this other video. But the quick short summary into my next segue is that I am also AuDHD and living through terrorism, and just imagine what it's like for someone. At that time, I had undiagnosed AuDHD. I'm an expert in pattern recognition, so let me tell you, the writing was indeed on the wall. Growing up as a girl, and later there was just no awareness. And I can go into that in depth, but that's not what this is about. As someone with undiagnosed AuDHD, imagine compounding terrorism on top of it. And that is my lens and my angle. I am not saying that my experience is objective or correct. It's my experience. I'm just giving you all the details so that you can kind of see for yourself how your resistance affected me as an AuDHD girl growing up in Israel. Now, why did I move to Canada? Having undiagnosed AuDHD at that time, I now know that what I experienced was the fact that my nervous system was constantly on overload. I was experiencing anxiety, tension, terrorism, fear. You really don't understand what living in Israel is like when you know that you can experience a siren at any minute. I was constantly tensed up, waiting for the next siren. Living in Israel feels a lot like you're either living through war or waiting for the next war. And it just feels like there's always going to be the next cycle. So just, yeah, if you know what having an AuDHD nervous system is like, imagine now the rockets, the stabbing, the shooting, and then encountering the potential innocent Palestinian carrying a suicide vest on the bus or at the mall, right? So that all compounds on your nervous system at any given point in time. And some of you are starting to learn why we call them terrorists. So I figured, let me show you what the final product looks like. Apparently, I picked the worst time in the world to be a Jewish Israeli data scientist. And I am a firm believer in a data-driven Middle East. So what you will see here is receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, everything. And if that sounds interesting to you, then you're welcome to stick around and hit subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you around.